Welcome to another installment of BrickWall Reviews. Or how we call it here, BrickWall Harder. I promise you, lightning is gonna be behind me one of these days, and y'all will not. Y'all will no longer believe. I don't know what I was about to say, but anyway, welcome to another installment of BrickWall Horror. For the month of October, we go over horror movies, TV shows, whatever the case may be, anything spooky. We try to cover it during the month of October. My name is Dave, and today I'm going to be bringing you a horror movie. Well, more of a special, something that as a child I never thought I'd really truly see. Something that tugs at the nostalgia. Something great that the world needed so long ago, but we just okay. Y'all saw the thumbnail and the title. I'm going over Scooby Meets Courage. This was an event for me. Okay, this was I've been waiting on this one. I've been waiting on this one. Um, and I'm excited. I saw it on HBO Max today. It's now on HBO Max. I saw it up there today, and I don't have my phone with the info. But anyway, I saw it on HBO Max today, and I was so excited. I immediately put it on. And I enjoyed what I saw of it. Granted, I did, I was back and forth, cooking breakfast for my youngin and everything. So I kind of missed some things, but this isn't necessarily a movie where if you miss something, you're completely lost. I mean, for goodness sakes, it's Scooby-Doo and Courage the Cowardly Dog. How much do you actually miss, So before I get more into this review, I want to go ahead and remind you guys to hit that like button down below. Subscribe to the channel if you are not already subscribed. Leave a comment down below. Let me know what you think. And also make sure you guys tune in Thursday night on our Twitch channel for our next segment of Life's Brick Wall. We get on there, me and a couple of my friends get on there, and we talk about life, viral videos, and whatever the hell else we feel like talking about. It's fun. It's hilarious. It's a great way to spend your night. And if you don't catch us on Twitch live, make sure you subscribe to the BrickWall_Live YouTube channel, where we put all of the live streams over there a week after they premiere, just because we want everyone to be able to see them. However, they are edited on YouTube, so the best way to get the experience is to watch it live. But if you can't, we understand. They're here on YouTube just for you. We love you guys. So, Scooby-Doo meets Courage the Cowardly Dog. This ain't gonna be a long one, y'all. I mean, okay, so the movie starts off pretty much it's like a basic Mystery Inc. thing. They're unmasking the bad guy who's robbing the bank, and in the middle of them doing their big grandiose speech of, and he had this on him, and this is how he did this, and we're unmasking him. You know what they do when they unmask him, and that was my Velma impression, okay? But you know what they do when they unmask him, they go through the whole thing. But in the middle of that, you see Scooby, he's starting to feel a little groove. He's starting to dance a little bit. And one of the things I loved about this moment is that while he's doing that, everything's kind of getting muffled around him. But then you hear the song from Courage, not the theme song, but the one like where he's like in a rush and like going through like the trouble, the dun, 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 dun. That one right there. Y'all, if y'all watch Courage, y'all know exactly which one I'm talking about. So he's hearing it, and it's like sending him to like a trance, and everyone's looking at him like, Scooby, are you okay? He's like starting to freak out, like, and he just like runs off, right? And so he runs off, and then Mr. Inking is like, hold up, bump this unmasking. We got to go find Scooby-Doo because he just ran off, and that is not like him. So they went and followed them, and of course, the biggest joke of that was that the bad guy actually ended up getting away with the things they stole. But so anyway, they follow him, and then we cut to nowhere, and Courage is doing the same thing. And it's, first of all, it was so great to see Courage the Cowardly Dog in the year 2022. Like, that was mind blowing. I was really excited because I loved Courage the Cowardly Dog as a kid. That was me and my cousin. That was one of our favorite Cartoon Network shows. Cartoon Network had the bangers, and Courage the Cowardly Dog was one of them. And it was one episode in particular I remembered. Side note, one particular episode that made me and my cousin laugh all the time, where it was like this werewolf always came up from the ground. And Courage was dressed like the bunny, and the mole went grass was like, Courage like, ah! I was random, but like Courage was really like, it was funny, it was scary. I mean, there were some moments I watched Encourage where I was like, "Oh, yeah, that's a little, that's a little uncomfortable." But I never got like I know it's like that one episode where everyone's like that scared the shit out when there was a kid. It didn't scare me. It was creepy, but it didn't scare me. And that's one thing I loved about Courage. It was like that true horror comedy, but it was real dark horror. And like watching it when I rewatched some of the show when I first got HBO Max. I watched something. I was like, damn, this show was pretty damn dark. Like, this was dark. Like, this was a dark show, not just in the lighting, but this show was just dark. There's a lot of dark humor, a lot of dark situations for Courage. And yeah, so that was something I always loved. Courage. Of course, everyone at some point has loved Scooby Doo. We don't have to talk about Scoob like Zoinks. We don't have to talk about that, but it's just seeing these two characters come together, as cool in theory as it sounds and as cool as it may feel going into the movie. It's one thing I didn't like how they had Courage, because we know Courage can kind of talk, right? So the one thing they didn't do with Courage, they kind of didn't have him talk a lot. Instead he did that and I was like, oh my gosh, Courage, you can talk. Like, just talk. You got two talking dogs. Like, but anyway, Eustace in this film, I do want to mention he was voiced by Jeff Bergman. He's voiced by a completely different person because his original voice actor had passed. The voice actor for Muriel, I think she recently passed. She passed after this movie came out. I know that, but not like she didn't pass like where it was like they would have to put like an in memoriam at the end. I think it was like a good while after this movie came out that she passed, or she might still be alive. I don't know. I don't have my information from me. I left it in my other room. But anyway, yeah. So the crux of this though, once Scooby and Courage meet up, they find out that there's these giant cicadas that are pretty much terrorizing the town of Nowhere, which Nowhere gets terrorized a lot by a lot of weird shit. So it was the cicadas, and that was a very interesting thing. I don't like bugs, and but seeing these anime cicadas be so creepy, I understand they picked like a really cool threat. We get a little bit of Nowhere lore, but it's kind of weird because the creator of Courage wasn't really involved with this film. So how much of it can actually be considered actual canon to Courage the Cowardly Dog is up for debate. However, we get to see the mayor, and I'll get into that a little later, of Nowhere. We see the history of Nowhere. There's actual history. And we find out a very interesting secret. Again, not sure if it's canon, but we find out a very interesting secret about Courage and the house he lives in, and exactly where the city of Nowhere is, specifically that house that he lives in, right? We get a cool piece of lore, again, depending on if it's canonized or not, get a cool piece of lore on that. So I thought that was really cool. And that actually ends up being the crux of the film. I mean, what more can I say? I mean, the comedy between everyone's cool. It was this moment in the movie where Shaggy roasted he roasted the hell out of this one dude. And I was like, come on, Shaggy, you reckless for that one. He roasted his ass bad. Like, it was bad. To the point where the dude just looked at him and was like, all right, do that shit again. I'll cut you, boy. It was funny. It was really funny, but it was like, dang, Shaggy's a savage. But let's see. They're trying to figure out what's going on, why the cicadas and giant cicadas and why all that's happening and blah 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 blah. The conclusion, or rather the villain that ends up getting unmaxed is very interesting, right? It pays a night. Okay, the easiest way to say that is that this movie, it does as much as it can to pay homage to Courage, to bring in as many elements of Courage the Cowardly Dog as it possibly can. And it does that. I think it does that very well. Like, I didn't expect to see these characters. I mean, I kind of did, but I didn't know really that they were going to be involved in that was going to be their role in the movie. I didn't know that. Although I did know something was fishy, I did know something was going on. I didn't necessarily, I kind of thought they would appear, these two characters, but I didn't know that they would be the ones behind what was going on. And there's a really funny gag with these two characters at the end, which I will allow you to watch that. I don't want to spoil this, especially if you're a bigger Courage fans than I am. You're gonna love that moment. The computer is in this as well. And something that's weird. I mean, I know all the original voice actors, from the show probably could not have returned for one reason or another. The computer just sounded different to me. I think that was a different voice actor. Courage obviously had the same voice actor, which was fun. Another thing, which just kind of brings me to another thing, when Courage screams, I know that he gets like really animated, different things happen in his body when he screams out of horror. And I don't know, I just didn't really feel it in this. I didn't feel his, it just all seemed like he did the same thing. But that's just a little nitpick I have. Like I said, I loved Courage the Cowardly Dog. It was funny. There was a lot of funny moments in there, a lot of dark humor, a lot of dark moments. And they do go over a lot of the things that happen in Nowhere. It's interesting. Like I said, they pay a very heavy homage and a lot of respect to Courage the Cowardly Dog. Until this one part where Eustace does an entire musical number and it is a rap song. And as cool as that rap song was, I mean, it was nice. He did get, his little groove on there. It was kind of weird. It was like, okay, say what you want about the musical number, but it's like Eustace definitely would not do this. But it was kind of funny to watch. But at the same time, it's like, oh, you were just padding the runtime, weren't you? So there's that. But I mean, overall, like I said, there's no like big thing. I guess the question from you guys to me would be, well, why are you picking this for BrickWall horror? Is it scary? I mean, it's Scooby-Doo and freaking Courage. Of course, it has horror elements in there. It's just a friendly horror for your kids to watch. Before I get into the heavy horror stuff, and you say, I can't watch that with my kids. I told y'all before that BrickWall horror this year is going to have the super spooky, the not so spooky, and the family-friendly spooky. And damn it, this is family-friendly spooky, okay? This is family-friendly spooky, all right? It does. They do kind of go a little hard in some parts though, like this one part with cicadas, and they take everybody up in the air. They go a little bit hard. They do go a little bit hard. I'm not saying it was something I was like, oh, gasping, but it was like, okay, y'all are diving into what makes Courage great, and y'all are diving into some of what makes some of the Scooby-Doo direct-to-DVD films that people loved way back when great. Like y'all are having those horror elements in there, but it's still kid horror and it's still a mystery. And combining these two dogs may seem like a no-brainer, but I can't help but think maybe it could have been done a little bit better. And I can't say that I would want, from this point on, I would want a Courage revival. I think that this is the perfect way for us to get one last piece of Courage, the Cowardly Dog, that is. It was fun. It was fun. I enjoyed it. I thought it was good. My youngin, she watched pretty much the whole thing, and it looked like she was into it. She was eating her cereal and just like into it. So that, I mean, it's something. So I mean, I like it. Yeah, that's all I got to say about it though. Courage the Cowardly Dog. Scooby-Doo meets Courage the Cowardly Dog. The whole title is, as you see down below, Straight Outta Nowhere, Scooby-Doo meets Courage the Cowardly Dog review. But yeah, so I mean, that's what it is. Overall, I give this I should come up with a new rating system for BrickWall horror. I literally just sat here and thought about it. I'm gonna give this 3 out of 4 screams. I mean, it's not scary. No, you know what? Screw the new rating system. Just for this movie, right? I'm gonna give it 3 out of 5 stars. No, 4 out of 5 stars. Because I thought it was good. I thought it was enjoyable. It's not a drag. Even though I didn't see the entire thing, it's not one of those things where you jump in and you're confused. You jump out, you jump back in, you can get caught up in like a couple of seconds. All you know is that there's cicadas, and you might miss some jokes and stuff like that, and some story elements and some story beats, but you can still keep up with the general mystery of it and still be invested the whole time. So yeah, this review went on a little longer than I thought, but straight out of nowhere, Scooby-Doo meets Courage the Cowardly Dog, now available to stream on HBO Max. Make sure you check that out if you're into it, if you want to show the kids something a little spooky for Halloween, you know, a little spooky, featuring two of our favorite spooky dogs. Check that out. But that's all I have for you right now today. Make sure you check out the trailer reactions I did to Megan, as well as Wendell and Wild. Those are now posted on the channel. And like I said earlier, make sure you guys tune in Thursday for another installment of Life's BrickWall over on Twitch. But if you do not have Twitch and you're not on Twitch, then BrickWall_live is the YouTube channel. Search that, subscribe to that, and check out all of our previous videos over there. But until next time, you guys stay spooky, stay easy, stay breezy, and peace. Wait, I want to do a curse scream before I go. All right, cool. I got that out of my system. Reese out. That was my Scooby impression. Okay, I'm good.